This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The Harbaugh thing would be a terrible hire. Okay? He has done nothing in Michigan. Considering all the resources he has no business for even keeping his job. I don't care what Ross thinks, says, believes, whatever. I don't trust Ross anyways when it comes to his football opinion. So that really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I like him as an owner. I like him for the Dolphins. He spends money, all of that. He's just got to find the right combination. But I don't necessarily trust his football IQ at all. Okay? So I don't really give a rat's ass what Ross thinks. All right? And I know he's a Michigan homer and he's a fan, like a lot of you out there. Look, Michigan has done nothing under that guy. And what he did in San Francisco, let me explain something to you all. It went the other way. It never got any better. It peaked because Schneider and McLaughlin they had a run through the draft that was unheard of. Okay? It was nasty. They had picks. I should actually go find, I should do that just for the hell of it. But Harbaugh he was in the right place at the right time. And this happens a lot of times with folks. Some guys are in the right place at the right time. Doesn't necessarily make them a good coach. Like some of you out there, you actually think that Jack McKeon's a good manager? Give me a break, dude. Jack McKeon was a mediocre manager, always was a mediocre manager. He's a cute little old man that forgot names, smoked cigars, and the filter was out. So we enjoyed his company, and he was a character, but he was a mediocre manager. Wasn't a good manager. He just got lucky. He was in the right place at the right time. Everything fell into place in 2003. It wasn't because he had any kind of magic. What the hell is wrong with any of you people? It's the whole thing like John Gruden. He inherits a monster, you know, lifetime defense in Tampa, and he got a couple of offensive pieces, just like Jeffrey Loria got Pudge and Urbina and Pierre, and got and Redmond, 3-4 pieces to what was already there, established. And they end up winning a title. It's really Dombrowski's work. It's really Dungy's work. It's really Rich McKay's work. Those are the people that laid the groundwork. And then it peaked. It got its Super Bowl, not because John Gruden's anything great. It's because he lucked into the right thing. And then it went like this. It went downhill fast. And look at the Raiders. What a disaster. The Arnett kid got arrested again this weekend. Kansas City had to let him go after the Dolphins let him go. I mean, Harbaugh was in the right place at the right time with the San Francisco 49ers. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. He wasn't this great quarterback. And if they want to draft him, they can go ahead and draft him, and they can make the mistake of a lifetime if that's what they want to do. And that's what it will be. And in the end, what you at least what you have now on defense would also end up getting ruined. Okay? That's what would end up happening. Because right now, at least, you've got something going on defense. And what you need to do is fix the offense. And I just don't think that he would be the guy. All right. 2011 to 2014. Are you ready? Alden Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Kendall Hunter, Daniel Kilgore. Let's see. Where are we at here? Jimmy Ward. Wow, he still made a big mistake yesterday. Carlos Hyde. Let's see. Eric Reed, Vance McDonald, Marcus Lattimore. Well, Lattimore wasn't a good pick, actually. Lattimore was a bad pick. Remember, he had the knee injury. AJ Jenkins. They were on a roll. Ayupati. They were on a roll that was like unheard of back in those days. They had players that were just absolutely nasty on that team. And that's why when you look at those San Francisco teams, right? Patton was in. I remember they tried to get Patton, and Patton was really good in college. Started off well, did not turn out to be a good player. I'm picking some of the other guys. Navarro Bowman obviously was nasty. I mean, they had guys that Ricky Jean Francois. They had guys that really developed into depth starters. Crabtree. They had guys that just were nasty, and the Crabtree thing was. I mean, you're talking about guys that depth, starters. That I mean, they had everything that you needed for Kaepernick to kind of just glide through the playoffs and do enough. Their running game was absolutely nasty. Their offensive line was nasty. Anthony Davis. They had guys on that team. Look, let me go through the the roster so I can show you, because it was just one of those things that they were blessed. They did a combination in free agency and in the draft that were just absolutely awesome. And those teams were loaded. And the sad part was that they did not end up winning a title in those days. That was the real sad part of it. All right, let me see let me go to 13. Let me go to 2013. Crabtree was a good player without him. Okay, so in 2013, listen to this team. Crabtree, Anquan Bolden, Joe Staley, Mike Ayupati, Jonathan Goodwin, Alex Boone, Anthony Davis, Vernon Davis. Their running backs were Frank Gore, Kendall Hunter. Yeah, LaMichael James was nice as a three-back, actually, not bad. Anthony Dixon also. Defense. Um, Justin Smith was just an absolute monster. Ahmad Brooks, Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, Alden Smith, Carlos Rogers, Dante Whitner, Eric Reed. I mean, it's just you want me to read again? Ray McDonald, Justin Smith, Ahmad Brooks, Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, Alden Smith, Carlos Rogers, Dante Whitner, Eric Reed. Are you kidding me? Tank Carradine was a backup. Glenn Dorsey was a backup. Corey Latimer was a backup. I mean, it's just they even, like I told you, they even had depth. That's crazy. Now watch. I'll go to 2000 and let's go 12. Let's see what you had in 2012. Crabtree and Mario Manningham, Joe Staley, Ayupati, Jonathan Goodwin, Boone. This is with Alex Smith. Frank Gore, Brandon Jacobs was the backup to Frank Gore. Ray McDonald, Isaac Sopoga, Justin Smith. Man, Justin Smith was just a beast. The defense was basically the same, except Deshaun Goldson was the free safety that year. I mean, loaded. Those San Francisco teams were some of the best teams in the last 20 years. Ask Niners fans. Niners fans will tell you that those teams, they probably have, it's like the Jet fans with those 2 years that they went to the AFC Championship game, but they had the wrong quarterback to get them over the top. But those teams were good enough. They had the defense, they had the running game, and they had the offensive line. That's all. To me, if you get a solid quarterback and you got a defense, an offensive line, and a running game, you can win a title. Almost all the time. You just need the quarterback to make just enough plays. He doesn't even have to be a superstar. When you've got a defense, an offensive line, and a running game, you make life for a quarterback incredibly easy. So, what else do we have here going on in the world of sports? So for me, I'm just not a Harbaugh believer. I think there's a lot of talk, and I think he's better suited for kids. And even in college, I have not been impressed with him because it's not like he had the best quarterback in college football for a long time in Andrew Luck, but he didn't win a national title. And he hasn't won a national title in Michigan. What's so special about him? I don't understand any kind of love affair whatsoever with Jim Harbaugh. None. So if somehow or another this crazy ass rumor, becomes true, I just have a hard time believing that this is something that's going to actually work when it's all said and done. So I am not a Harbaugh guy. Okay.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.